Hey, you guys, this is Fran. It's Wednesday again, so we are Wednesday warriors. And today's topic is this: how did I learn to fear my feelings? You know that during your time that you were a child and when we're being raised, most of the people with eating disorders tend to have to hide their feelings. And that's exactly what happened to me. I remember that my parents would never let me cry in public because crying wasn't a good thing. And it made me like really frustrated because I had to hide, the fact that I was sad in front of other people because I always had to be this perfect girl and this perfect daughter for them. I always had to be like an example to other kids. And that was something really, really hard for me. Another thing is that, every once in a while I would be like really aggressive or I would say something that could hurt another person. And even nowadays, my dad says that I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't stand for what I believe is right. So if someone does something bad for me, I shouldn't be just like yelling at that person or saying what comes to my mind. And that's another thing that once you hide that, once you have that inside of you and that you can't let it out, that also can make you feel guilty, let's say, um, because like you have to hide that. And like even with my friends when I was a child, my parents would like to pick my friends for me. This person is good for you, that other person is not good for you. And that also something that really made some damage in my personality. Of course, nowadays I decide who is good and who is bad. It's not about them anymore. But the fact of crying and being aggressive and also failing in life, like I could never fail at school or, at work. I always had to be like perfect all the time. That's also something that wasn't positive for me. So in the beginning, I would do the things like with my friends. I would go out with the friends that they didn't like, and then with that, I learned how to hide things from them. And you know that eating disorders are about hiding, right? So I could hide my behaviors, I could hide my friends, I could hide the times that I failed, I could hide the fact that I was crying. I could hide everything from them, and it was really bad for me. I would even, take like $10 from my mom to buy diet pills or to binge and then to purge after that. And I'm not proud of that, of course, but I had to, hide. I had to do everything as a secret, and I had to keep that smile in my face and, uh, just pretend that everything was right. And with time and with therapy, and after, being in the hospital twice for anorexia, and, like after everything that I went through, I learned how to let things out. Nowadays, if for example, one day I was sitting at a table with my mom and my dad, and they were making like really bad comments about, like disgusting things. And I was just like, I'm not like the best person to eat, so please stop that. I can't stand that anymore. And then I just left the table and I was crying, and they came to me and said, well, there's no need for you to cry. And then I said, yes, there is. I'm really upset. So why can't I cry? Why can't I show that to you? And then they're just like, oh, don't be that aggressive. Why not? Like I'm mad at you. So why can't I just say what is in my mind? And every time I fail, I also tell them, like I'm not perfect. I'm sorry, but you don't have a perfect daughter. Not even you are perfect. And with that, I began to have a better relationship with them. And like as I said, nowadays I really don't hide anything that I'm feeling. People see that I'm human. Even like I have my NGO, and the people in my NGO, they know that I'm not perfect, and they know that I can relapse every once in a while, because that's part of the process. Like I'm human, and I cry, I laugh, I get angry, I get sad, I fail, I make my choices in my life. And it was like just by the time that I learned how to deal with these feelings and I learned to accept these feelings, that when my recovery really started. And nowadays I can say that I'm pretty much recovered from it, you know. So we do have a question for you guys. Are you having an emotional reaction to memories of how your parents or caregivers mishandled their mishandled their emotions or yours? Write it down. So yeah, so just write it down here, and we really would like to know what you guys think about it. Right, guys? So I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.